Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the world of Plantboi. Today, I have a reading in regards to how people see you. What are the things, the thoughts, the feelings that people get when they interact with you, when they're in your presence, when they see you, when they talk to you? We're going to get it all. I will be showing you 3 stones individually, then all together, so you can pick according to your intuition, because I am here using my intuition to help you, but I hope that you also use your own intuition to help yourself throughout the reading, because this is not for anybody specific. This is for the general public. I will also be using the Shadowscape Tarot to read for you today, and timestamps for each reading will be down in the description and in the comment section. It's starting to get a little warm in California. How's the weather where you are, and where are you located? Is it still cold? Is it winter? Is it summer? Where are you? Anyways, let's get on to the stones. All right, here are your options. Number 1, we have this flat stone with yellow, orange, red hues to it. Very flat. Probably broke off of another stone, a bigger stone. It's mother stone. Number 1. Number 2, we have another broken stone. This one is gray in coloration. A little bit of brown and rust in there. Cracked stone for number 2. Beautiful. You can see the different layers. And number 3, we have this white stone. Very rounded edges. Number 3. I ask that you focus on the intention. You can close your eyes, take a deep breath, open your eyes, and pick according to your intuition. Which stone is calling out to you? Which stone do you feel most drawn to? Take as much time as you need. Pause the video if you feel. All right, on to the readings. Number 1, welcome to your reading. Let's shuffle your deck. I don't know if you can hear the shuffle. How do people see you? Number 1. All right. I feel like people see you as somebody who's very wise, somebody who's very mature and beautiful. Your soul is beautiful, your soul is wise. You give off a very attracting demeanor, like you know how to work this world, you know how to talk to people, you know how to converse, you know how to dance, you know how to do things. You just know how to be present, be a human, you know how to work your body. Even if you don't know how to dance or you don't have rhythm, you know how to move your body, work your body, you know your attributes, you know your positive qualities, you know what you have and what you possess and what you can do better with. You're very self-reflective. You understand yourself, okay? So people can see that. But I don't think people see you as somebody who can be taken advantage of. They see you as somebody who's very smart and intelligent. They see you as people who really are in your own world. You do what you need to do for yourself. You're self-reflective, so if you need to do something, you're going to do it. You're not the type of person who's going to be put down by other people's opinions or other people's sayings. or what they have to say or what they need to say about you, because you're so focused on your own world, which you're attracting to yourself. You know how important it is to be focused on you. And I think people see that you're very selfishly inwards. Like you'd rather be with yourself, you'd rather focus on things that are happening with you and your group of people rather than turning around and seeing what other people are doing. I feel like you wouldn't, like, if there's like a team effort or if there's a group team, I don't think you're worried about the other team. You're not turning around to see, or if you're racing somebody, you're not turning around to see where they are behind you. You're focused on your race, you're focused on your pace, and you're focused on yourself. And that's how I feel like people really view you, not selfishly, but you really cater to yourself because it's important. I feel like people also see you as very feminine and divine. Maybe they know you work with spirituality, or they know you work with bettering yourself through maybe spell work or just rituals, nothing crazy, just like self rituals, self improvement type of rituals. And it just gives you this like feminine divine energy, like you're from another place or you're outer worldly, you know? I also feel like you, again, focus on yourself, which you need to cultivate for your own life, for your family. You're focused on your friends, your family, the group around you. And I feel like people almost want to get into that group. Like they will see you interacting with other people and they almost want to be your friend because they see how you are with your friends, or you're talking to someone and they wish that you were talking to them. They could just see, like, they sense the way you're talking to people and they just want to be a part of that. But you are very wise. You are very understanding. I feel like you're very fresh. Even though you give off this demeanor that's very wise and very cultivated, I feel like you are still very fresh and young. And I think it's very interesting for other people to see such a young person so wise, or a young person possess these attributes that make you so worried about yourself, like, oh wow, you're really worried about your future, good for you. Or you're really worried about how you're going to provide for your future family. Like your ideas are not correlated or not related to the ideas of your colleagues or your peers or the people around you. And it's very mature. But I don't get the sense that you look mature, or that you have this like old fashioned style to your demeanor or the way you look. I think it's your ideas. The way you speak is very mature. The way you think, the way you talk, the way you, it's not the way you actually speak, but when they talk to you, the things that you're saying are very mature and very in tune with those type of things. You give off this very like spiritual goddess, this spiritual being, someone who's like not from this earth. I feel like you give off this like alien type of feeling. Like, where did you even get these ideas? How are you even thinking like this? Who are you inspired by? People just want to know where your thoughts come from. I think people are really interested in your mind, okay? A lot of people are attracted to people based off how they look, but you, it's really how you speak, how you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way you're talking to people, the way you interact, your friends as well. I feel like the friends that you choose, they're like, of course he's talking to her, or of course she has those many friends. Of course they have this position and they work for this, because that's the way they are. They just accept it because you're different. And I think that's the way people see you, okay? I think physically as well, you give off this beautiful look. I feel like a lot of people can come to you for advice as well. I feel like a lot of people want to take your advice, like they want your opinion on things. I feel like you might be very opinionated, but it's not really like you give your unsolicited opinions and advice. It's more like they can tell that you are somebody who's so mature that you will give them honest reviews. Okay, I think they're very honest, and that's also a big thing that I'm getting here. Your honesty, your integrity. You're not somebody who's going to back down. You're focused on yourself. You're focused on what's going to make you better. So people want to take notes of that. All right, beautiful. That's what I have for you. Please comment, like, and subscribe if that resonated with you. And until next time, the world of Plantboi. Hello, number two. Welcome to your reading. Let us see how people see you. Let's shuffle your deck. How do people see you? Number two, I feel like you have a very strong energy. I feel like you have a very strong demeanor, attitude. The feeling people get from you is very intense. I feel like you can be very passionate about things, very over explaining about things. Like you almost want people to really hear you, and people can hear you. So they kind of get a little, they get a little like it's a little too much for them at times. But I feel like you don't care. You're not the type of person to care. I feel like you're very strong and set in your ways. Like this is eventually going to happen. Whatever you say, whatever you do is going to happen. And I feel like you bring these ideas and these thoughts that make people question reality and question what they're doing. I feel like you guys are almost like fire signs or Scorpios, someone that's intense, very emotional, or very passionate about your things. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it completely the whole way. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it with passion. I feel like you're not somebody that takes things lightly. If somebody's giving you some type of attitude, you're going to check it right away. If somebody's going to try to disrespect your friend, you're going to be the one to step up and defend your friend or your family. I feel like at times people can feel held hostage against your opinions or against your thoughts or against what you're saying or against your demeanor. Like they almost can't get a word out because you're so intense. But that's not the case. You're just very passionate about what you're saying. And people want to try to change your opinions or change who you are. And you just say, sorry, you can't change me. And that really makes people feel like they're being held against you. But that's not the case. That's their feelings, you know? But this is not a bad thing. This is you being set in your ways. This is you allowing yourself to be in control of your thoughts. And I feel like you feel in control of who you are. But I feel like a lot of people try to give you choices, and you're like, no, the choice that I want isn't a part of the two choices that you gave me. So, no, I'm not taking those two choices. You know, I feel like you're very set in your ways. I feel like you could be considered stubborn, but I think this is beautiful attributes for somebody who is a leader, somebody who is leading people, and somebody who has conviction and integrity in what they're saying and what they're doing. And you're not like a people pleaser. You're not someone that's just going to say yes or no just because other people want you to. You're going to stay grounded and footed in your opinions and what you have to say and what you have to do. I feel like you're always like the crossroads between people. I feel like with this and the Two of Swords, I feel like you're like the crossroads between whether people should do something or not. You know, if they really want an honest opinion, they're going to come to you because they know you're not going to sugarcoat things. You're not the type of person to lie or give somebody what they need to hear. You're just going to say it bluntly and say it how it is, say it how it's supposed to be heard. Like, I feel like if people tell you, get off that tree, get off that tree, you've been there too long, you just are like still swinging, still singing, still dancing, and you don't really care what they have to say. You don't care the reason why you should get off. It's just because you want to stay on the tree, you're going to stay. But there's always this like crossroads section of there's always this crossroads between you and people. Maybe some people get in between a crossroads of whether they like you or not, and you're the type of person it's like you either like me for what I'm saying or you don't. And too bad. And these are not negative attributes. This is just you being a strong personality. And if people don't vibe with that personality, then what are you going to do? Change yourself? No. Very strong. Like if you don't like something, you're going to bring death to that idea and you're going to let people know. You know, a lot of people are diplomatic and they're like, well, I can understand your point of view, but, and you're like, no, This is completely wrong. What you're doing is wrong, and this is about right and wrong. You're not the type of person to give somebody some room to wiggle in their idea if it's wrong, especially if it's a topic that you are well educated in. Then you really will, you know, burn them down to the ground with your words. Very strong. I feel like you can have a very strong presence too. Maybe you have an intimidating presence. You're very strong. I feel like your demeanor and your presence is just very strong and well set and intimidating. You're beautiful. I feel like it can be kind of dark at times. Like people are almost scared to come up to you and ask you or tell you something because they know how you're going to react. But at the end of the day, you're not really this dark person. You're very free. You're very a free spirit. You do things just because you're in the present moment, okay? It's not really like you're trying to strategically blame people or be rude to people or tell them they're wrong. You're just in the moment. So if something comes up and you don't agree, you're just going to be like, "No, that's wrong. Sorry. Bye." That's what I feel like. And then you just jump off the cliff, like, on to the next one. Well, it's because the fool is usually off a cliff. I'm not saying you're jumping off a cliff, but like you'll move on to the next step not knowing what's ahead. Like jumping off a cliff, you may not see the cliff, but you're just like, all right, bye, see you later, on my way. And same thing with your opinions. You may not understand that certain things will have certain consequences, and maybe you do understand, you just don't care. But you're like the type of person that will continue and just be like, you know what, do you see that branch just slap me? I feel like if I said something wrong right now, you're trying to slap me through the screen and be like, you're wrong. The branch just did it for you. So maybe I should just be quiet now. Just kidding. But this is very cool. You seem very cool. You seem like the type of person I would want to defend me, the type of person that I would want in my friend group, that strong mother like figure, that father like figure. You're like the parent of the friend group, you're like the parent of your siblings. But it's very free. We have the fool and the hangman. So it's like you will be this type of person that will, based off your actions, off of the present moment, but you still can reflect, you still can stop and reflect and take a moment to really think. Okay, so you're not completely chaotic and stubborn and unlikable. I'm not saying that. You're a very strong personality and strong-willed, and you have strong integrity in your thoughts and what you do, and that's beautiful. I'm sure you're a leader, an entrepreneur, you do your own thing, or you're a boss, or you're a parent, a mother, a father, or an older sibling, or like the older friend, or the mother or father of the friend group. You're the one that protects, the protector, the provider. I feel like you possess those qualities. Let me know how you feel about that. If it resonated with you, please comment, like, and subscribe, or let me know if I'm wrong. Until next time, the world of Plantboi. Hello, number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's shuffle your deck and see how people see you. How do people see you, number 3? What was up here? How did that get there? I feel like you're very fun. I feel like you're very fun. I feel like you're very wise. I feel like you're somebody everybody wants to be around. You're entertaining. I feel like you're funny, but there's some secrets to you. Like you give off this fun, funny, exciting demeanor, but deep down you are very strong. You're very weight. I feel like you're very mature, understanding of the universe, wise. I feel like you practice a lot of things that people don't really know. But on the outside, when people meet you, you're very fun and fresh and childlike. Maybe you can be a little like clumsy, and people think, oh, he's just a fun little go lucky person, just let him be. He's just himself. But deep down, you know exactly what they're saying about you, and you know exactly how you're acting and being perceived. But you have these secrets, this willpower, this wisdom, this strength. And I feel like you are very grounded. Even if you can come off a little clumsy, you're not very clumsy. You're just being funny. But deep down, you are very grounded. I feel like you're a hard worker. I feel like you're a hard worker. I feel like you work on yourself behind the scenes. I feel like a lot of people may not know the things you do. Maybe you're secretly working on a different trade of what you do at work and your coworkers have no idea about this. Or maybe you're just somebody who's working out in your room and nobody really knows that you work out. You're working on yourself, meditating, reading, and people don't know that you read or that you love novels or that you meditate. But this is something that you don't have to give and let people know. So when they find out these things, they're like, what? No way. How interesting. I had no idea, you know? I feel like you always keep people on their toes. I feel like you always keep people wondering where you're going to go, wondering how you're feeling because you always put on this happy face. But I feel like you're very mature. You know what to leave behind. I feel like when you leave your home, you know not to bring the baggage with you to work. You know what to leave behind when you're going somewhere. If you're going to go with your friend group, you're not going to bring baggage or this negativity with them. You're going to be fun. You're going to be excited. You're going to bring joy. I feel like you're the type of person people follow. You're adventurous, you're explorative, and you're exciting, you're fun. Like I said, I feel like you're very fun, you're very exciting, you're very passionate about what you say and what you do, and you're somebody everybody wants to be friends with. They think you're funny, you're easy to come up to and talk to. You're somebody that, like, if you're in a room and somebody needs to find comfort, they'll go to you instantly and start talking to you because it's so easy. I feel like you're a people person. You're not a people pleaser because you do whatever you want. You're in your own little bubble. You're having fun. You're doing backflips, and people just want to go and be a part of it. Okay. I also feel like people don't know what to expect from you. Like, what is he going to say to me this time? Like, sometimes I feel like you can be a savage and you're funny and you kind of like will say jokes to people and they kind of like are like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. Like, I cannot believe you just said that. Or why would you say that? Like, oh my gosh, you need to keep your mouth shut. Like things like that. But it's very playful, it's very fun. You're just being funny, but I feel like you're outrageous. Like, you can be outrageous with the way you speak or the things you do. You'll climb something, you'll dance, you'll push your partner into dance with you, and now they're stuck dancing and they're laughing because you threw them in. I feel like things like that. But you're this light, you're the sun, you're the personality, you're just this vibrant person that everybody wants to be a part of. You give life to people, you give life to the party, you give life to wherever you are. I also feel like there's like this church. I feel like you go to church very often, or there's this church feeling of like when you walk in, people are excited to see you, or people want to talk to you and get to know you. But I'm sensing this feeling of church, this sense of group, like this group effort. Maybe you're a teacher or a mentor, and people get excited to finally get to see you come in. Like a lot of times people are just robotic with the things that they do. Like if they come into work, you're going to church. I'm feeling like a group setting, like in a big group setting. When you come in, it changes the whole vibe. People want to hear what you have to say. They want you to go up on the podium. They want you to speak because you are going to bring light to the crowd of people. Crowd pleasers, not people pleasers, but crowd pleasers. You know how to put on a show. You know how to get on a podium and get people's attention. That's what it is. The attention. You know how to gain attention. So if you're not in a field where you're a mentor, you're on stage, or you're giving advice or something, or you're just speaking like a spokesperson, not necessarily advice. I feel like it's just the way you speak. Like, you get the script and you know how to deliver. It's your delivery that gets people excited. And again, the way you speak, the way you move, it's very fast, it's very quick, it's very witty, it's very funny, it's very exciting. And that's what gets people so attracted to you. You're very attracting, you're very magnetic. And I feel like you should be in a field where you're controlling people. I don't want to say control, but you're like the person that has to get people hyped up. You're the person that has to control the crowd. You're the person that gets the class to be quiet because they understand you, they want to listen to you. You're the person that people listen to, and people want to be a part of your web. I feel like you have a strong web of people. You have a strong web of like networking. Whatever you do, I feel like you're like the top tier type of person people want to hire, the people want in their group, the people want in their class. the class clown, but not like a clown. You're just the class clown that brings excitement and joy in life. My mic stopped working the last minute, so I only had a minute to tell you that you are the mystery, you are the curiosity, you are the excitement. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if that was you. And if it is, please comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time, the world of Plantboi.